and we're better than ever. So let's kick up this music. Switch to the actual thing.
Oh no, 20.
Alright, so you guys are gonna catch a ride from Tombstone to Bisbee by rail. We figured out it's gonna take 5 hours, and it's gonna cost you $2 a head. Now, if you have a horse, it's also gonna cost $2. We covered that as well. So everyone spent their money.
Yep.
Can I instead go to the library and just tell them, like, I'm gonna be back in a few days, and I'll pay them whatever day the horse stays there with a upfront of $1 for 4 days?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
If you don't want to bring your horse.
Well, I don't think it's gonna be useful.
Okay.
You know, you have a point there. I'm gonna do the same thing.
Okay, do that,
Pay me
and
$1.
then we will get moving. Alright, well, I don't have a map for Bisbee, so I'm only using the maps that are being put out for free by the Pinnacle Entertainment. So we don't have one for Bisbee. That's fine. But Bisbee is up in the mountains. So air is going to be a bit thinner.
Gonna be chilly.
Alright, and so you guys arrive at the train station in Bisbee. Now, Bisbee is smaller than Tombstone. It's this, yeah, it's this dingy little place. And as soon as you guys step off, you can tell that the demeanor of the place is, well, it's just kind of
We're
sad
instantly
and lonely.
depressed by being here.
Yeah, exactly. And the fear level is higher than Tombstone. So let me get that fear level. So it's going to be fear level 4, which means you guys are going to suffer a -4 to all your guts rolls. So here's the description for fear level 4. There are mysterious disappearances, and when bodies are found, it's piece by piece. The land itself starts to change. The shadows on the cliffs start to look like leering faces. Or cornrows always seem to rustle as if someone's hiding within. The winds in the mountains might whisper your name. So it's a bit creepy.
Yeah, just a bit.
Well, I paid $2 and I'm on my way back to Tombstone.
Yeah. Yeah. just be walking around with your hand on your revolver.
He has no revolver.
You don't have a gun, Lewis?
I do. Well, I do.
Okay.
I think we all have some.
Okay, so this town is kind of, like I said, this
Excellent.
town is the end of the line. So most of the town is like what you would expect to see for like rail workers, but also it's, you know, you don't know how long these alleged disappearances have been going on, but it's almost like a ghost town. You see like one old woman sweeping her wooden porch and kind of looking at you like you don't belong. And maybe the sound of a different horse, kind of like, you know, like sighing as horses do, startles you because it's so out of place, and it's just so kind of eerily quiet. Now you spot in the middle of town, one of the larger buildings just has it, you know, in plain text, just saloon over the doors, or you know, over the awning. And unlike Tombstone, which is pretty flat, this Bisbee is built onto the side of a mountain, so everything's kind of on a different level, and the whole town kind of goes upwards, elevation-wise, as you leave the train.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So the saloon is built on this kind of flat precipice that it almost hangs over the lower parts of the town. And if you were looking for two ornery fellows, they'd probably be there.
Well, I was already gonna go to the saloon, but I guess I'll just head to the saloon.
So, Mad Dog, you said you've done bounty hunting before.
I dabbled.
So how exactly does this work? Do we just walk in there, see them, shoot them, and say, bounty hunters?
Oh, I
Well-
should also mention that you guys spent the morning looking for all this work, and then you've driven out 5 hours by train. And since you're in the mountains,
That's my time.
the sun sets technically earlier because obviously the mountains will block the sun, so it's pretty dark. There are a few kerosene lanterns, along the porches of these, and there's like 4 kerosene lanterns out the front of the saloon, and there's even a kerosene lantern that's hanging over the sign, that lights it up. And it's
Yeah.
pretty much the most well lit building in the entire town.
It's pretty spoopy.
Yes, yes,
So perfect timing on our part.
yep.
Why does a train even come here?
So the 4 of you start heading up to the saloon, and as you step onto the wooden porch, normally you would hear, conversation and the clinking of glasses, but even as you come up to those iconic, what do you call them? Those doors, those half doors that kind of swing open. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I wish I knew the
Yeah.
actual name. And anyway, you come out, even as you come up to those, you can barely hear life inside. Which one of you enters first?
Probably me.
All right. So Mad Dog, you push open those doors and you take a step in. It takes a moment for your eyes to adjust to the brightness because obviously there's a wooden chandelier and then there's kerosene lanterns all about the place. And as you step in, it's just one of those movie scenes where so there's about a dozen patrons and maybe like 1 wait staff plus the bartender, and all eyes just simultaneously turn to you, and there's like a shuffle of chairs, and everyone just kind of looks at you. And then as you step forward and the 3 of your companions step in, it doesn't look like they're going to be turning away anytime soon. Now, each of you make a notice check.
I know it's the world.
Success. Success.
Raise, baby.
Success. And success.
And success.
All right.
Everybody.
You all notice that, like I said, there's about 14 individuals in this parlor. And about 12 of them are looking at you, and 2 of them are not. Situated underneath the staircase in the small card table is a pair of men in long dusters. And they each have a drink at their table, a nibbled at piece of bread each, and then there's a handful of leather-bound journals, kind of maybe like 3 or 4, just kind of either placed in front of them or stacked to the side. And they don't seem to be very interested in looking at you. However, Mad Dog, since you got a raise, you realize that one of them is looking at you, and he's doing it on the sly. They both have their hats on, and one of them kind of has like one eye looking over his shoulder, and he's got it, and it's just burning into you. You see it right away, and you guys meet eyes, and he doesn't back down. And the other one's kind of looking down, like letting his hat cover his face. And the guy who's got his eye on you,
Alright.
Mad Dog, you can see his fingers twitch.
Alright. Well,
And then
I
finally,
guess. Oh, shit.
the barkeep says, Can we help you? You're looking for a room. This ain't the place."
Well,
And
guess
again,
I'm
you've
first one
got
in,
the
first
whole
one to
room's
talk.
attention. No, all 4 of you are
Yeah.
in at this point.
Yeah. No. I said first one in, first one to talk. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Well, I'm gonna leave it at that and say, no barkeep. Ah, damn it. No barkeep. We're not really looking for a room, but a drink would do nicely.
All right. Liquor's in short supply and in high demand. If that's all right with you, then you're welcome here.
Anything to wet the whistle. And I look at the rest of the group. Kind of nod, towards the bar.
Yeah, I nod and follow.
And then we
I
do
not
that.
and follow.
All right, as
I'm
you
gonna
guys
try to get someone to buy my drink.
as you guys look up, well, you're getting this like fuck off vibe, Gwen. You know, like even though you're probably getting a little extra stare down because you're, the finest piece to walk in these parts. Other than that,
Booty.
though, you're definitely getting this fuck off vibe from everybody in the community. And by the time you guys make this awkward march up to the bar, when you finally get up to the bar, most everyone kind of gets back to their own business,
Yeah.
or at least makes it look like they are. But there's this hush over the whole area. Any conversations that kick up thereafter are kind of murmured and almost whispered, like keeping it very private.
Yeah.
There's no joviality here at all.
Oh, I sit down, get out home. Tell the barkeep, give me your cheapest drink. Pray to God I can even drink it.
Well,
And that's when.
the only thing we got is this here whiskey. He points behind him and there's like a small rack of just identical whiskey bottles.
Sure don't have a lot of variety.
Well, train hasn't been coming in here with the supplies of late, and people have been buying it up in bulk. When he says it, you kind of
That's
look behind you
unfortunate.
and you see that a handful of people have like whole bottles next to them.
Well, I'm not gonna be like everybody else, and I'm just gonna take if plausible, a shot.
It's
I don't know
$1
about
a
the rest
shot.
of the crew. That's fine.
How much for the bottle?
For the bottle?
Yes,
Well,
the bottle.
He kind of looks around and he says, $20.
20?
And he points behind him and says, I only have the 6 left.
And the counter under him, like underneath us, directly in front of him, there's like just stocked full. We just can't see it.
Kick the counter in.
I'll tell you
I
what.
hear that electric son of a bitch.
I'll do y'all a solid and I'll give you your first shot half off. How about that?
That sounds like a nice deal.
He reaches under the counter,
Still-
pulls out 4 tumblers. They don't look like pristine. And he reaches behind and grabs a bottle and corks it. Pours each. Well, he checks with each of you, like you paying, and each of you they're gonna pay the 50 cents for a shot, which is a ludicrous amount of money for a shot, I might add.
Yeah, no, I've
He
seen it.
starts pouring it.
I'm gonna say this round's on me, guys. I'm gonna give him a $2.
He takes it. And he's like, appreciate it. And so as
There
you
you
guys
go.
like take a sip, you're like, whew, that is some bottom barrel whiskey. Like, it's like it's a step above moonshine. And then as you guys kind of like recoil from the taste, he starts doing that, that idle barkeeper thing. He's got a rag and he starts rubbing it on the counter and he goes, so, what brings 4? And he gives a look at Gwen, gives a look at Decker, then finally looks back at Mad Dog. Peculiar looking folk like yourselves all the way down here in Bisbee. You guys work for the railway or something?
Metagame wise, I would like to have a skull painted on my face. I'm the only one that was not named as peculiar.
Okay, and then... Okay, how about this?
Probably
How about this?
You blend in around
No.
here.
How about this, Lewis? You've noticed that he has done a incredible effort not to look at you.
Okay, that's good.
He hates you. Nah, you're fine.
Well,
Yeah, there you go.
You
I'll
catch
let
him
my friends
shooting a
lead it.
nervous glance at you every now and then.
yeah. We're here on a possible job.
A job. Oh, all right.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if it's gonna happen anymore, looking at the state of this town. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what's happening out here? Because that's not what we were told it would look like.
I suppose you haven't heard about them disappearances then.
A little.
Well, there were rumors and hearsays. Hearsays.
We lost 7 people in the last 2 months. Vanished in the middle of the night. No sound, no trail, gone. And it's happening every 7 days, like clockwork. In fact, tomorrow night, We just know someone else is gonna go missing. We've sent letters to Tombstone. Hell, we've even sent letters all the way down to Tucson just looking for someone to come. But that county sheriff is good for nothing. Sure, he collects our money for taxes, but he ain't protect us none. We even sent a letter down to the Bayou Vermilion, but folk know they don't give a damn. Hell, they stopped hollowing out trails for Bisbee. Ain't nowhere to go. This is as high as a mountain the rail could go. It's the end of the line. And it's gonna be the end of the line for all our folk until people start leaving. I hate to bring you down, I know you travel far, but it is what it is. Welcome to Bisbee.
Well, I have a question for you then. These disappearances, aside from being out of the ordinary, the way you explain it, have they been happening with people walking outside at night, in their own home, in their bed? Did it even happen with people, like, watching over these people? Like,
Well, everyone's got a
What-
different story, but after the third disappearance, I guarantee you everybody stayed indoors whenever the sun came down. These folk here, he kind of gestures, they come here, try to forget about it. I let them sleep in their seats, because I don't want them walking home. I tell you what, though.
and,
Last disappearance, I had a whole bunch of people, sleeping in the parlor here, and I swear I just couldn't stay awake. I tuckered down myself, and when I came to, one of my own patrons in this very establishment was missing. You'd think that'd slow down business, but all it did was drive up the people's need for alcohol, and we're running low.
well, obviously. And,
I'm about
these
to do
disappearances.
a run back down to Tombstone, buy some more liquor. It's the only thing keeping this town alive. I'm hoping when I get back there won't be a soul left and everyone's just moved on. You're looking at a ghost town in the making.
Well, if you don't mind our curiosity, we might actually investigate in these disappearances. I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Any notable event that happened before those disappearances started, such as some strangers coming into town, I don't know, a red moon, some superstitious stuff maybe, I don't know.
People got stories. Ain't nobody
Well-
can figure out the real cause, but I tell you, there were a handful of things that went down. Some of the boys...
There's always a little bit of truth in every legend.
Yeah, some of the boys were investigating the last of the railway tunneling when they were planning on continuing on before they gave up. And that's the first disappearance. One of them boys didn't come back. And ever since then, ain't nobody's been going over there, but we've been losing people. They've been vanishing. All the boys that went out that night, they're gone. They were the first to go.
Okay, maybe they touched something they shouldn't have. Anything else?
Listen. I know you folk are looking for some kind of, I don't know, maybe thrill chasers or something, but I tell you, anyone who goes over there, they don't come back. I mean, you ain't the first people to ask. And he shoots a glance over at those two men.
Oh, whoa. What about those two men? I mean, other than asking, anything else they did that seems kind of peculiar? Because I noticed that they're probably the only two things that resemble, at least to us.
Okay,
and
he
not
holds up his
anybody
hand,
else.
kind of like shh. He's like he's urging you to lower your voice, and he leans
Alright, lower
in
it.
to you, Mad Dog. He leans in real close, and he motions for you to come up. So you're almost nose to nose, and he whispers. I'm not gonna whisper because I don't want the mic to pick it up. To not pick it up. He says, "Listen, them two, they're the real deal. I don't know where they came from or who they is. Some folks say they outlaws, but they got real shiny pieces, and I've seen them in here every night since they showed up, polishing their weapons, and they are loaded for bear hunting. I tell you what, I don't know who they are, but I hope they solve the problem or leave. You know what I mean?" And he kind of scoots back, not giving you a chance to really respond.
Yes, I know what you mean. Put the shot glass and reminds me back home. I drink it all. And then I might throw up. Well, other than that, is there an empty table?
He looks around and he goes, yeah, there's one right over there. If you turn around and it's the closest table to the door. It's like this is void. There's no one around it.
Oh. I don't know about the rest of my crew, but I think we need to have a bit of a private conversation, unless anybody else here wants to ask any questions.
Yeah, if I were you, I'd get back on that train before it turns around. He
Doesn't
goes.
sound like a bad idea.
He grabs the tumbler you finished off, and he starts, grabs like a canteen, sprinkles some water in it, starts rubbing it down, and he nods as you guys get up and head over to the table.
I'm just gonna leave him with one comment since he cannot look at me, and I'm gonna say, you really love my pretty face enough that you want to save us from whatever's happening here.
Listen,
And
I
I'm
don't
gonna
judge
smirk and-
people on their. He has real trouble looking at you. I don't judge people on their fashion choices, sir, but you do strike me as an odd feather. No offense intended.
Everybody has an outside. Some comes off stronger than others. I'm gonna walk to the table with the rest of the people.
Alright. Let's say I'm gonna have my back to the two guys. I'm like, well, now, like I said, I dabble in bounty hunting. I'm not that pro at it. I guess you could put it as a term. But at least I know one thing. You know what? Fuck it. I'll put it like this. Those two guys, as you heard from the bartender, and as we can see, they're loaded. And I can at least guesstimate that they came to this town. I don't know if they came here to figure out the disappearances, but they're definitely looking into something of it. And they at least know, well, I wouldn't say no, but they at least have interest in us, since, both of them were eyeing me down like it was nothing new.
Not only that, but according to Barkeep, they've been here and looking into this mystery as well. So whether or not they are who we think they are, there's also the possibility that they could give us information as to what's happening out here, willingly
That's-
or not.
Not my point. I can definitely tell these two guys are not of the clean sort. Now, whether they want to talk to us or not, I'm not sure. But, Decker, like you want some insights to this bounty hunting thing, there's only one rule I know, is that let the aggressor draw first and then you draw after. At least you can have one thing on your hand, is that they wanted to kill you first before you killed them. Now,
I see.
but on from that, I don't know how you guys want to approach this. I don't know if you want to go up to them and grab a couple seats and have a quick talk. I don't know if you want to sit here and wait until they move to figure out what the hell they're doing. But that's up to you. For me, I'm very aggressive. I have no
Well,
problem. I have no
we-
problem looking a demon in the eye.
We don't think those are the bounties, though, right? We don't think that those are the men we're looking for.
If you ask for my opinion, I don't think these guys might even have bounties on them. I can definitely tell, like I said before, they're not the clean sort.
Well, according to,
But I don't know if they
Gwen's
have bounties.
intel, that the rumor is that the two people that wandered into town, which the barkeep says are these two people, are wanted men. That's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
She even has
And
their
I
name
have-
if she scrolls up and looks at it.
I do nothing against Gwen, but I do have a problem with rumors, and I do have a problem.
Springfield Brothers.
Oh
I
no, I mean she has like a bounty poster,
No, she does.
not a rumor. Yeah, she's got like an actual bounty poster.
Rumor has it that the two drifters are wanted men, the Springfield Brothers.
No, I
Oh,
mean she
so it
probably
is a rumor.
got her hands on bounty posters, but I mean the rumor is that they are of these people. That's the rumor.
Oh, the rumors.
Yeah,
So
I
you can
mean,
get a good look at them.
I
You
got
can match them up to their
I
bounty
got you.
posters.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Okay, great. So yeah, they probably are the bounties. That's beautiful.
Well, they might not be.
They also might not be. Either way, guys have bounties on them. And either way, we're gonna end up fighting. I can definitely tell. We're gonna end up fighting. It's just
It can be avoided.
could be, but with these two, I can tell
And
that
maybe
they,
they'll surrender.
No, with these two, I can tell they want to fight. I wouldn't say want to fight, but they're definitely not gonna give up easy.
You want to go talk to him for us?
I do not believe Mad Dog's the guy to talk to these
That-
people.
That and I have a bit of a thing with aggressiveness. I like to fight, and I like to,
I could try to work my charm.
yeah. Let you guys with the plan, but I don't know. I kind of want to play the wait and see. Maybe we even follow them.
Okay,
They're
so
leaving here every night.
the wanted posters.
Oh, thank God.
They are wanted for robbery and murder, and they're wanted for $200 alive, or half that dead.
150 dead, 200 alive.
No,
Wait,
100 dead.
Wrong math. Yeah, wrong math. Yeah, no. So there you go. It's up to you guys what you want to do with this.
Well, first I would like to try and talk to them. Whether or not they're the wanted men, we need to be sure of that. Plus, if they've been investigating what's happening here, I want to know what they know.
Well, there you go.
You and Gwen would make an interesting sort. How about the two of you go and talk to him, and me and Mad Dog will watch your backs.
Now,
Sure.
I have on a duster. It's like, you guys go talk to him, and if it gets hairy, you tell me. I reach in my duster and kind of drop my pistol and land on my lap. I'll be ready for it.
I'm gonna get up and walk back over to the bar.
Okay.
While they go over there.
Who's approaching them?
Gwen and Lewis.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep. Joe Lewis is not gonna look all too thrilled of going against guys that are armed to the teeth.
Well, you're the one who said you want to fucking talk to him.
Yes. I have more balls than brawn.
Oh, that's funny. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah. So, Gwen and I, let's head to those people.
All right.
Those two dirty white guys.
One of them, as he sees Gwen approaching, he kind of gets a "How you doing?" look on his face.
I bat my eyes.
As long as the other one does not do that me.
All right. So
Alright.
as you guys approach, you guys can get a pretty good look at him. They both are handsome-looking gentlemen. One much more than the other. He has the attractive edge. You know, he's a real handsome dude. They both kind of have this 5 o'clock shadow going, brown hair. The prettier one, he has shoulder-length hair, again brown. And they both have on, you know, your classic hats and long brown dusters. And strapped to their backs. Actually, not strapped to the backs, but you see leaning up against a wall in back straps, you know, that they took off to sit down. They've got a pair of Winchester lever-action shotguns, and they each have a revolver holstered to their side. And the one with the shorter hair, you know, he's got a nice short trim. He's the one that's really giving Gwen the eyes. And the long-haired pretty boy, he's kind of he's very standoffish. Now, as soon as you guys approach, and you get to look at their faces, you guys can definitely tell that these are the men on the wanted poster.
That sucks.
And the guy giving you the eyes, Gwen says, "Well, how are you doing?"
Well, I'm right as a peach. How about you?
"Well, I'm getting better." And then the pretty boy says, "Can we help you with something?" And he shoots like a "What are you doing?" glance to his partner. Or his brother, if these are the Springfield brothers. Actually, you guys can kind of see a family resemblance, so they probably are brothers.
Well, if Gwen's not gonna talk, I'm gonna take the tape.
Well, I'm not really sure what to ask at this
Well,
point. I mean,
okay.
it's our brothers, so I'm
the
trying
whole-
to think of how we want to catch them up.
Can I
Except-
take your heart?
Yeah, man. I mean, we
She's
know
giving
who they
eyes
are.
to the guy. So Lewis, you're like, okay, I gotta step in here.
You can either try to talk him into coming in peacefully, or you can just say, okay, bye, and walk off weirdly and say, yeah, that's them, kill him. I don't know. I mean, it's
Yeah.
up to you guys.
No,
I don't know,
I
I
wanted
thought-
the information, so I'm gonna say, since we've heard that since you've came into town, you've been investigating this disappearance, I believe?
All right, the guy who just had eyes glued on Gwen and her assets, he like almost unwillingly jerks away and looks at you and goes, "What's it to you?"
Well, we came in here for a simple job, but it turns out that the job kind of becomes a scam when people disappear. So the question is what's happening to this town? Because nobody has any details, and if you guys have been investigating, then
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
don't
cut
know,
you
maybe
off
you could help.
because I have a question for you.
Sure.
What are your charms, and are they displayed on your person in any way?
My charms will be little pebbles, little bones, chicken bones, cat bones, and stuff like that, as well as like feathers and stuff. But they would be in a satchel on my side.
Okay. Carry on. Or were you done?
I was pretty much done. So basically, yeah. So, one thing information.
Gotcha. And he's like, "Well, I don't know what job you came here to do, but if you're looking for trouble, I suggest you head back the way you came. And as for the disappearances, well, those things have a way of sorting themselves out." And he shoots a look to his brother. Now, your friend, though, she could stay. And he winks at her.
Well, that will be our own choice. Thing is, we're supposed to help finish the tunneling of the railroad, and obviously, it's not gonna happen anymore.
The long-haired pretty boy kind of looks at you and says, "Really? You guys are supposed to come work on the railroad?"
Not work on it, but we were basically told to come watch, supervise the place, simply because there was rumors and stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna make you. He doesn't believe you, so you're gonna make a persuasion check. Resisted by his spirit. Okay. He's like.
Wild card, bitches.
He's
I
like,
am a wild card.
He's like, all right. Supervise the railroad. So that means you work for Bayou Vermilion?
I believe so, though it was one of his henchmen that we talked.
He looks at his brother. Bayou Vermilion's the name of the railroad.
I'm gonna smirk. Smart move.
Tension.
And both of them, not so subtly, but trying to be subtly, put one hand on their revolvers. And the pretty boy continues. He says, So you
I'm
came
looking
here.
at them.
You came here to supervise the railroad. Well, where are your workers?
Well, my team is behind me.
All right, and Gwen and Lewis, since the one of the brothers, the short-haired brother, since his right side is to the wall, you couldn't really see his hand movements, but you do hear a click, and he
cocked
looks
his gun or something.
and he looks at you with this like dead stare, you know. And he's just like, "Listen, I know what you guys are into. I don't know who you work for, but you walk out those doors and we don't have a problem. We're not looking for a fight. Hell, we're actually looking to save these townsfolk from a terrible evil."
And we were just looking into that as well, but if you're not willing to help, we'll be on our own then.
I'm gonna kind of step in and be like, "Now, gentlemen, we can be civil about this. We are all trying to work towards the same goal, are we not? Would it not be beneficial to work together on this one and help these people a bit faster, if possible?"
"Thought you guys are here for the railroad," the long-haired one says.
Well, what's good for the railroad is often good for the people, vice versa. We have common interests. In other words, we have a stake here.
The short-haired one kind of smirks and he says, "Listen, I got a 6-shooter pointed at either one of you. I'll let you pick which one. Let's play a game where we show you ours, you show us yours." So tell us
I'm trying
exactly.
to think of not to say a joke here.
Right, yeah. So tell us exactly what you guys are doing here in Bisbee. And if we like your answer, we'll tell you what we're doing, and maybe I'll put this gun away. And he's got this devil-may-care grin.
Oh, can I roll notice to see if I can tell?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll notice.
I want to roll notice.
Both
too.
of you can roll notice. Alright, I was going to give you all -1 for the lighting, and so that means you both succeeded. Yeah, you can tell that the one to the right of Gwen and Lewis, he's got this chromatic revolver pointed at Lewis.
Good.
And it's under the
good.
table.
All right. Like me, under my table, on my lap, I take my gun and point it right dead at him.
Just
and I cock
out in
it.
the open?
Now in the open. It's not under
Oh,
the
okay.
table.
Well, I
Out
mean,
in the open under the table.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're under the table and you just pointed at him. You're like, okay.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna especially point it at his hand, at his arm, at the arm that's holding that gun.
Got it.
Damn,
And I
you
cock
would
it.
do pretty good.
Well, I assume you're taking
I'm
an
a-
aim action, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, alright.
I'm Wait. Oh, what? So it's an action to aim, and is that +2?
It's +1.
Plus
Plus
one.
one.
So it's an action to aim, and then you wait next.
And then,
Oh,
and
the
well,
aim
as long
is
as you're
+2.
aimed and you don't move, you can shoot at the target you aimed at, and you get a +1. That's how it works. It's kind of like
So,
a
but it
society.
takes one.
It does take an
+2,
action to do it. Now, obviously, you're not in combat, so actions are just
Oh, well.
6 seconds, you know. So he's just
Alright.
Yeah,
he's
I
taking
got you.
6 seconds to line up a shot.
but it is +2, Z killer.
It's +2. I'm looking at it right now. It says improves your chances of hitting an opponent. It's +2 shooting or throwing, both for range.
Anyhow, Gwen, are you gonna answer his question or should I?
Well, here's the truth. So, we're just some drifters looking for some jobs, and we heard there were some mishaps going on. We've been contracted to come down here and basically figure out what's going on. I don't really want to elaborate too much now.
Okay, the two brothers shoot each other a look, and the guy with the gun pointed at Lewis says, "Alright, well, we're lawmen of a sorts, and we're here to, well, protect these fine townsfolk from any further disappearances. So as you can see, no beef."
No, we were not looking for a fight, but as I understand, it hasn't been going well. Wouldn't you like some help?
They look at each other and they go, "I don't think you guys fully grasp the situation here. This isn't an accident or some crazy mountain men. I'm sure you guys have heard about things that go bump in the night. You've been around. Cochise County, no different. Now, I don't think you guys have the grit to handle such affair. I'm pretty sure you just bring us down. Unless, you know what I'm talking about."
Without going into too much details, we've seen our share of things that go bump into the night. It's not our first dance with the devil, if we must say.
They look
You
at each
might
other.
think-
This time they're like interested, you know. And then the guy with the gun once again says, "You ever kill anything unnatural?"
Do you mind if I whisper it, so do not afraid the tenderfoot folk?
Sure.
I'm gonna lean toward him and say, gray skin eats flesh.
And he meets your eyes. He says, "Pot belly."
Yes.
He kind of tilts his head back. All right. Signal your friends. We'll walk outside and we'll carry on this conversation in the privacy of these abandoned streets. And you can hear him uncock his pistol and holster it.
I say what I do, say.
All right, you guys head out to the street.
Yeah,
With,
I'm gonna motion the other two, Decker and Mad Dog, to walk out with us.
Okay. So
I say, man, dog, man, I was like, fuck this, it's going down.
it's going down. It's going down. He starts shooting. All right, so all 6 of you come out into the street, and Springfield brothers kind of step to the side and have a brief conversation. And then
In the meantime, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that to whisper to Decker, Lewis, and Gwen, like, you know, like a caucus, just like they're doing, and say, these are most likely the wanted men we are looking for. But they know more about the disappearance, so I think we should tag along for the disappearance.
What is it
Go on.
that they were wanted for? Robbery and murder? Was that it?
Yes.
Huh.
all right,
I feel like
the short-haired one
oh,
turns to
there
you guys and says, "My brother doesn't think we should bring you in on this, but from what we've seen, we may need some help."
Go on. We're willing to help. That's why we're here.
You guys ever hear of nose ferrets? And you can see his brother roll his eyes, and he goes, "Not nose ferrets, Nosferatu."
What I roll? Knowledge occult?
Yes, roll it. Yes, you've heard
Like
of
he just raised his
Nosferatu.
hand.
I'll kind of like adjust my glasses and give my mustache a nice one twirl and say, "Stories. What about him?"
The long-haired one says, "Well, that's who's been killing people. There's a nest of them down near the end of the line."
I'm gonna kind of
Okay, so Decker, what you know
Again.
about Nosferatu, what you know about the legends of the Nosferatu, is that they are blood-sucking creatures of the night.
gonna
like
shake my head
vampires.
and look at them and say, "These are children's tales. It's people dressing up, drinking goat's
The
blood."
shorter guy kind of like
Right.
slouches his shoulders, like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And he's like, "Listen, I thought you guys were in the know. Once those scales come off your eyes, surely you realize by now. Hell, this guy with a skull on his face said you guys killed a Gaki."
I'm gonna
Oh,
turn
he
to
told you
Decker.
that, did he?
I'm gonna turn to Decker and, like, you know, kind of do a nod gesture.
I see. Well, in that case, then, how many of these blood-sucking parasites do you believe are nesting here?
They look at each other again, and the long-haired guy says, "Well, it's hard to say, but at the rate they're feeding, it's definitely a group of them. Now,
And-
we've only fought these things once before, and we had a group of veterans with us. You guys look like a bunch of tenderfoots."
If what I remember from ignoring the comment altogether, if what I remember from the legends is true, I am led to believe that I'm gonna draw my vest back to show my Colt 45. Probably won't do much to damage the creature.
They both kind of shake their head in agreement.
So how do you plan that we kill these things?
The short-haired guy who's up front draws his 45 Peacemaker, and he twirls it, and then holds it up, and he says, "Shot to the heart. The only thing that puts him down."
The only thing.
It's a vampire.
Wait, so regular bullets will kill these creatures?
You
Sure.
gotta shoot it in the heart.
You split the heart.
Oh.
That or sunlight, but these things are not dumb. They won't come out. That's why they eat at night. Tomorrow's the next feeding cycle. So we figured we'd either go tonight. We were actually getting ready to leave when you guys walked in. Try to jump them while they're nesting, or lie in wait and pick off the ones that come out to bring back dinner.
Or best of strategy, if you know where the nest is, we go there as they split. We get the one half in there, and when the other half is in, if they do split, that's an easier force to deal with.
Well, yeah, with all the gunfire and such, we'll be fighting on two fronts in no time.
They would turn around, but come back prematurely. Well,
Personally,
I
I think we should wait for tomorrow night. Pick off the ones that come out to get dinner. Maybe just one, maybe it's two. Maybe the whole pack comes out. But either way, we'll thin the herd. We'll go back into the hunt, snoop out their lair. The problem is we don't know where their lair is. We just know it's in the mountain, down near the end of the line. We tried to do some
know if they-
investigations, and it's a little bit hazardous.
Well, I'm
You
gonna
know-
rub my eyes. I'm like, well, god damn it, I gotta deal with this shit again. I mumble at. Oh.
Meanwhile,
This is
Gwen is
supposed to
like,
be
"You
the-
guys are all crazy. Every one of you is
Well-
crazy."
Well, on your plan, your idea of saying to hit them tomorrow, if there's one, maybe two, maybe we could, say there's two, maybe we kill one, injure one pretty hard, or hard enough, at least leave it walking. If we injure it hard enough, it might run away, and we could chase it to its lair.
Yeah, that'll work. Alright, so let's get a good night's rest, and we'll figure this out tomorrow.
do they take their prey back alive?
Yeah. So the rest of them can feed on it.
If you take me to the most recent victim's house, I might be able to help.
I'm gonna smirk and say me as well.
Alright, well, we
let's
can do
go.
that. Do you
Face
want to do it
painting.
first thing in the morning or right now?
Right now would be better for me.
Alright, well, let's get going. By the way, the short-haired guy says, I'm Sean, this is my brother Dan, and we're the Springfields.
I'll nod and tip my hat and say, my friends call me Decker. Here we have Gwen, Lewis, and this charming fellow over here we call Mad Dog.
I could see.
Sean kind of gives you the eyebrows.
Beautiful. Yeah. Let's go.
Alright, let's go. So, he takes you to this dingy-looking cabin on the outskirts of town. It's a walk away from the town street where all the businesses are. And he just kind of, like, with a kick, he opens the door. Oh, sorry, cat. I just kicked my cat. He just kind of kicks it open and he looks at you and he goes, "Guy's dead. Ain't nobody live here." And you guys step inside.
Okay. Well, there goes the one.
So
without
I'm gonna
this.
kind of just look around the room and do your stereotypical. I'm just getting a feel for it, I'm just.
Sure, sure.
And then I'm gonna do a notice check, see if I find anything that looks super personal. I guess I do
I
not,
know
since I rolled a
exactly what
1,
you're
right?
going for.
No, you
No,
got,
you go
got a
for the
4.
Oh, so the 1 doesn't beat it out?
No, I mean, on certain rolls it does, as far as I know. I mean,
Okay.
I may find a rule later on. That
I know for
trumps that.
spellcasting it
Yes,
does.
for
If I-
certain things
yeah.
it has a listing, I believe. I don't remember reading in Savage Worlds that a 1 causes a natural failure, but I could be horribly wrong.
I think this might be for like attack checks and maybe ability checks. I could be wrong.
Well, if I find a rule
No.
later, we'll adjust. We're all learning.
Sure.
So moving
But
on. You got a 4.
yeah,
Okay, so
so-
yeah, you
It's
find
a snake
something.
eye. It's a snake eye that you get rogue,
ca-
and it's when you get
Oh.
a 1/1.
That's
a
right.
double
If you
one.
get a snake eye, you can't spend a Benny. I mean a fate
Oh yeah,
chip.
yeah, yeah.
If you get
Yeah,
snake eyes,
have
you
to
can't
take it.
spend a fate chip on it. You have to keep
Yeah, that's a
it.
critical fail.
Yeah, and
Ah.
if you roll a 1 on your spellcasting die, regardless of the result on the wild die, you get backlash and you're shaken. So basically, you would be shaken, I believe. If no, not from your notice, but from a spell.
Right.
Right. So, yeah, you find something of his. Maybe it's like a bow tie or something.
Sure.
Something he wouldn't bring with him to the saloon, because that's where he died, or that's where he went missing.
Yeah, I mean, something that he just, liked a lot. It's really not matter, just doing it for flavor.
Okay, sure.
But,
Keep going, BRB.
I'm gonna pull out my tarot cards, and I'm gonna start splitting them and shuffling them, moving them around and laying them down and sticking them back up. And then while I'm doing all that fancy hoopla around, I'm gonna try to,
Use the power.
use a power, make it look like I'm doing a tarot card read,
Sure.
Oh, you're so fucking lucky.
right?
Yours does not have any visible effect.
No, mine literally just makes me look like I'm reading cards.
A goldfish has a good chin, but me, I can keep going.
We are.
We're like
are.
7 minutes.
We're
like,
almost.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna. Okay.
Okay,
And
succeed.
then I can I'm gonna post the spell here in
It's mind riding.
Is it?
Ooh, how do I post my spell? I just have to copy and paste it?
I don't think there is a way. You can just tell me what it is, and I'll look it up.
Oh, I'm casting Hunch.
Okay. And that's in the player's handbook?
Punch. Oh.
Yeah. The forces of darkness really hate this hex. It gives hucksters insight into the past of a person, place, or thing. Assuming the hex is successful, the caster gets a vision, feeling, insight, insight, or
Yeah, I got it.
hunch about some event that happened in the target object or person's past.
It's even better than mind ride, you asshole.
Target object or person's past. Okay. Unfortunately, he wasn't wearing this at the time he disappeared. So whatever hunch you get, it's pretty insignificant. Maybe you saw what he does for a living. Maybe, like he was working
I'm back.
his claim out up in the mountains, just picking away at a chunk of rock that he was convinced had some kind of, either precious metal or even ghost rock. And that's about all you really get, unfortunately. Like I said, he wasn't wearing this at the time of his disappearance.
I don't suppose there was any. What I've understood that's how the spell. Well, I guess not.
Well,
since
it
I'm
gives you
learning this as
insight
I
into his
go.
past, right? So, like...
Well, I was gonna ask if there's like any blood or anything, 'cause if I got some of his blood, then I could do it, right?
No, because again, he was taken at the saloon.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, like you work, it works. You get some insight into him. He was a prospector. He found a small, tiny chunk of ghost rock, and that made him convinced that there was ghost rock in them hills. And he'd been working his claim ever since. And yeah. And now he's gone. So as you do that, as you're coming out of your hunch, Sean goes, so what? You some kind of... What are you doing? What's going on here?
Paranormal investigator.
Yeah? Well, what do the cards
Well-
say, buddy?
All I could tell you about our friend here is that he struck a claim out in the mountains. He had a pretty strong impression that it was full of ghost rock. And he spent an incredible amount of time out there with this necktie.
How insightful.
Well, I didn't say I was a veteran investigator, but if we could get a drop of his blood, something that he was wearing at the time that he went missing.
Well, anything he had on him at the time is missinged with him.
Yeah, I understand that. That's why his blood would probably be easier to get in case it was splattered anywhere. maybe stained.
Dan goes, "Are you working some kind of spell?"
No, merely tapping into his aura. It's almost the same as when you walk into a room, you can tell somebody's in a bad mood, or when you well, really, that's my best example for you, is when you can just feel something about someone.
Feel that every day.
Kind of sounds like magic, but all right. Listen, I get what you're trying to do, Dan says, but I think our best bet now at this point is to just wait for tomorrow night. With 6 of us, we can cast a wide net. Hopefully, I mean, those damn Nosferatus, those are slippery fellers. They stick to the shadows. They're gonna be hard to spot. But with 6 pairs of eyes out there instead of 2, hopefully we'll catch them, and this will be the last night that they. Hopefully, no one else has to die. Is what I'm trying to say.
No, understandable. Well, I'm sold.
Yep. You know, I have one question.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter to show, but I'll say I used to be a soldier man myself. You have to, what's the word for it? Accept or deny. But you guys know anything about the agency?
They look at each other.
I mean, it's just a question to ask, since I used to be a soldier man and always heard little tellings of I wouldn't say tellings, but some of the work you guys, not you yourself, the work of the agency, did.
Sean goes, "Yeah, we've crossed paths with the agency. Do you work for them?"
That's fine. Just a little bit of information I wanted to know.
Well, answer the question. Do you work for them?
Do you?
No, do you?
Me? No, I'm just a crazy old drifter.
Uh-huh. They both kind of look at each other. And they were at ease, but now they're not.
No, you don't have to worry about me. I'm not for the agency. Like I said before, I used to be in the military, but that life is not too suited for me.
I'm gonna turn to the brothers and say, Mad Dog has issues with groups. He's not troublesome to the point where you have to worry about him, but he does say the wrong things at the wrong time at all times.
You don't know me enough to know me, so...
All right,
I know you
listen.
enough to know that I have no idea what the hell either of you, and I'm going to look at the brothers and look back over Matt, are talking about when you sit there and say, "Are you that?" No, I'm not that. Well, shit. If I wasn't concerned before, I am now. I don't know. What is this?
All right,
what is this
listen,
thing?
listen. We all got a common interest here. We're gonna put down some Nosferatu. Yeah, nose ferrets. God, shut up, Sean. Some Nosferatu. We're gonna put them down. We're gonna save this town, and then we'll just go our separate ways, and that'll be the end of that. Sound fair?
That will be the end of that.
Sounds
Let's go find me a stool to sit in tonight, I guess, and I'll start making my way back over to the saloon.
All right, you guys are gonna go find a place to crash, and
Yep.
we're going to call it a night.
Out in the woods. I can die quicker.
The worst part is, metagame here. No need to record this, obviously.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
he
I'm
has to
gonna
say goodnight
stop
then before.
the stream. Well, actually, I'm gonna wait for this stream to go for a bit because I want to make sure the recording
get
finishes on
everything.
YouTube. Yeah. So I'll mute you guys and then I'll come back to it once I know it's good.
Okay, well, I'll
So-
just